If everything I want to communicate through this channel is written as a book, then this would be it. No book has had a bigger impact on how I see money, wealth and happiness than this one. This is the one book that I keep coming back every year, and it's the Almanack of Ravikant written by Jorgenson. For those who don't know Naval Ravikant, he's an angel investor who has invested in more than 100 companies including Twitter, Uber, Stack Overflow and many others when they were just startups. But what made him famous was his Twitter series about building wealth, which got him a large following on social media where he keeps sharing insightful and thought-provoking content. And Jorgenson compiled all of Naval's best insights and advice over the past decade into short, easily digestible chapters. From managing money and relationships to finding happiness in life, the book avoids all the fluff and brings clear, actionable advice. So in this video, I will share the main 8 takeaways from the book and how the book personally influenced me. I hope you find it as useful as I did. I so wish I had read this book earlier. Not because I want to make a lot of money and become rich, but there were certain things that the book introduced to me that I wished I had realized earlier. And the most important among them was the difference between being rich and being wealthy. You are not going to get rich renting out your time. You must own equity, a piece of business to gain your financial freedom. Our society has a very narrow perception of making money and getting rich. As a kid, I thought studying well, getting a university degree and working hard in a 9-to-5 job was the best way to make money. But now I know it's not the case. I agree. It's still the safest, risk-free way to make a living. But then it's not easy with a 9-to-5 job to get to financial freedom. Simply because there is a limit on how many hours we can work in a day. So we need to build income sources not bounded by the restriction of time. My channel got monetized recently, so it will earn money through AdSense even when I am sleeping. Money buys you freedom in the material world. It's not going to make you happy. It's not going to solve your health problems. It's not going to make your family great. It's not going to make you fit. It's not going to make you calm, but it will solve a lot of external problems. It's a reasonable step to go ahead and make money. Still, according to him, earning money shouldn't be our main focus. Seek wealth, not money or status. It's important to understand the difference between these three because people often confuse them with one another. Money is just a means to transfer value from one person to another. If I do a task for you, in return, I get paid in the form of money for the time I spend on the task. Once the task is done, then the cash flow stops. But then, wealth is different. Wealth is the assets that keep making money, like this YouTube channel or a published book. Of course, there is a one-time effort, but then money keeps flowing as the channel grows or the copies sell. And status is our ranking in the society. Everything we do, at some level, we are doing it for social approval. And we keep playing the social games. But according to Naval, this is a zero-sum game. Because social games are always about who comes first or second. And for one person to climb the hierarchical ladder means someone else has to move down. But then, wealth creation is a positive sum game. When we sell a book, we earn money. But if the book provides value, then the reader also benefits from it. It's a win-win for all. Naval believes that we should prioritize building wealth over earning money or pursuing status. But then there are 2 other factors that are more important than wealth. The 3 big ones in life are wealth, health and happiness. We pursue them in that order, but the importance is reverse. When you are young, you have time, you have health, but you have no money. When you are middle-aged, you have money and you have health, but you have no time. And when you are old, you have money and you have time, but you have no health. So the trifactor is trying to get all 3 at once. And these lines struck with me a lot. Most people work hard during their 30s to 60s, thinking that when they retire, they can enjoy the retirement life. But what most of us don't realize is that there is an expiry date for every experience in life. We can't make a trip to Disneyland with our children when we are 70 years old. Technically we can, but it won't be the same experience as when they were kids. And the things that interest us in our 20s and 30s might not be the ones that interest us when we are in our 60s and 70s. So to improve our overall lifetime fulfillment, having each experience at the right age is important. To all of you who have made big plans to do in your retirement, I just have one advice. Take 1 week off. Do a mini version of what you plan to do in your retirement and see for yourself if you really enjoy those things. It could be spending time at the beach or going on a cruise. Just see if it is really your thing. If you don't enjoy it as much as you thought you would, then all those years of waiting will be for nothing. Most people in retirement spend most of their time at home doing nothing. So when you are young and healthy, find time to do things that you love. Because as the days go by, it won't get any easier. But then, who has got time? I don't have time. It's just another way of saying it's not a priority. What you really have to do is say whether it's a priority or not. If something is in your number one priority, then you will do it. That's just the way life works. Everyone from Jeff Bezos to Elon Musk has the same 24 hours in a day. So when we say we don't have time, then we are indirectly saying that we are as busy as those CEOs. Most of us spend considerable time scrolling on Instagram or watching TV. I'm not saying you shouldn't relax and watch TV after a busy day, but then know that it's your choice. If you have time to binge watch a 10-season series, you can't complain that you don't have time to start working on your passion. It's just that watching TV is more important to you than working towards your financial freedom. Value your time. It's more important than your money. It's more important than your friends. It's more important than anything. Your time is all you have. Do not waste your time. There are basically 3 really big decisions you make in your life: where you live, who you are with, and what you do. Because these 3 factors decide the quality of your life. First is where we live. I was in Dubai last year and the mindset of people there is totally different from here in Germany. The people there are crazy about the latest iPhones and high-end cars. This is okay if the people are rich enough to afford them. But then, this is not the common case. Most people there are living with huge credit card bills. I drive a 10-year-old BMW and I've never felt the need to get a new one even though I can afford it. But if I was in Dubai, I'm pretty sure I would have got myself a high-end car on credit. There is this 5 chimps theory where you can predict a chimp's behavior by observing the 5 chimps it hangs out with the most. The most happy and optimistic people choose the right 5 chimps. Peer pressure is real. People around us influence our behavior much more than we think. And the third important decision in our life is what we do. And a major share of it is our habits. We are just a collection of thousands of habits subconsciously running in our minds. Just think of it. The moment we wake up, 90% of the things we do, we don't have to put any serious thought into it. They just happen. I try to bring as many good habits into my life as possible. I read for 30 minutes every day before I go to bed. I keep the Kindle near my bedside, and when it's my reading time, the lights automatically switch to the reading mode and the notifications on my phone get silenced. Happiness is a skill you develop and a choice you make. You choose to be happy and then you work at it. When we think about it, there are no actual emotions in the physical world. Feelings are just sensations that arise in our body to which the mind gives colors. For example, take a negative emotion such as anger. When we are angry at someone, it's a story that we tell ourselves about how the person should or shouldn't have behaved in the way that made us angry. It's all in the brain and it all depends on how we handle the inputs that come at it. Taking control of our emotions is a skill that we have to develop, and choosing our happiness is a part of it. I'm not saying I never get unhappy or I'm good at controlling my emotions, but that's where I'm trying to get to. I know this may not be true for people who are suffering from chronic diseases or who are living in extreme poverty, but I think most of us don't fully appreciate the beautiful life that we have in the present. Instead, we are always either regretting the past or planning the future. Before coming to Germany for a job, I got admitted to a German university for higher studies. So I left my job in India and started preparing for the trip to Germany. But then there was a delay in getting the student visa and I lost the opportunity. And this was really hard for me. I just sat at home regretting about my lost chance and worrying about what I should do with my life now. I couldn't accept it and move on for a long time. But then somehow I got courage to return to my old job, started searching for job opportunities in Germany, and then moved here 1 year later. You always have 3 options. You can change it, you can accept it, or you can leave it. What is not a good option is to sit around wishing you would change it but not changing it, wishing you could leave it but not leaving it, and not accepting it. That struggle or aversion is responsible for most of our misery. All the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. You should be very thoughtful and realize in most things what you're trying to do is to find the thing you can go all in on to earn compound interest. I read a lot about personal finance and I know the importance of compounding when it comes to my investments. if we invest 10,000 at a 5% interest rate over 50 years, after 25 years, we will get 500,000. But if we can wait for another 25 years, it will grow to $2.5 million. That's the power of compounding. And it's not just limited to our investments. The same is true for relationships and every other area in our life. Always think of the long term. This is where the most returns in life are. If you have two choices to make, and they are relatively equal choices, take the path more difficult and more painful in the short term. If you make the easy choices right now, your overall life will be a lot harder. I think you have to be very careful about doing things you are fundamentally not going to be proud of because they will damage you. The first time someone acts this way, I will warn them. By the way, nobody changes. Then I just distance myself from them. I just have this saying inside my head. The closer you want to get to me, the better your values have to be. Everyone has a defined set of values in their life. Being compassionate is one of my core values. I also believe that I should always stand with the oppressed or the minority. Whenever I am crossroads about something and don't know what to do, I always run them against my values and then decide based on that. So be mindful of your values. That will bring more clarity on whom to accept and how to live your life. There is no legacy. There is nothing to leave. We are all going to be gone. Our children will be gone. Our work will be dust. Our civilizations will be dust. Our planet will be dust. Our solar system will be dust. In the grand scheme of things, the universe has been around for 10 billion years. It will be around for another 10 billion years. You are going to die one day and none of this is going to matter. So enjoy yourself. Do something positive. Project some love. Make someone happy. Laugh a little bit. Appreciate the moment and do your work. Naval expands on this point with the story of Sumerian civilization. They were among the smartest people to have ever lived on Earth. They invented writing, the calendar, the wheel, and many others. But can you name any Sumerian? When I feel too egoistical, I think of this picture. This is Earth, and if we zoom out a little, this is our solar system. And if we zoom out again, this is our galaxy. And there are millions of galaxies. Now that small, barely visible dot is our Earth. And I am a tiny speck living there for just a fraction of a time. And that realization is enough for me to get rid of my ego. Our life is irrelevant in the grand scheme of things other than to ourselves. So enjoy it, make the most of it, and do things that make you happy. I would like to finish it here with a quote from Confucius. You have two lives, and the second begins when you realize you only have one. This book has more valuable life advice than I can summarize in one YouTube video. So do yourself a favor and read it. It's available for free to download at almanack.com. I promise it will be worth your time. And this will be one book that you would want to read, think a bit, and then read again. I hope you got some value from this video. If you want to support me and the channel, then give the video a like and click the subscribe button. That would mean a lot. Until I see you with another video, have a wonderful rest of the day and adios.